What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. It's Crisco here. Tonight we're going to talk about the 80s. Try to get some people in here. We're going to talk about the 80s and watching the news right now. If we can get some people in, we got something pretty special we're going to do tonight. Indoors tonight. Kind of windy outside. And the couch is a little more comfortable than the lawn chair. So, decided to sit inside tonight. Got the NFL draft coming up this week. Definitely looking forward to that. Seeing where Joe Burrow goes. And all the rest of the LSU players. And seeing who the Saints pick. So we get the crew in here. We got 3 watching, it looks like. Hold on. I'm actually having a hard time here. Let me see something. I don't know why. Okay, we got 3 people watching supposedly. But I don't see anybody commenting on this thing. Hold on. Let's see what happens. I just left a comment myself. Alright. So I'm going to watch the comment section on the phone here. 3 people in the chat. Now, if you're watching, go ahead and leave a comment. Okay. The hype is real. Crisco is live. There we go. Okay, TD. So I'm watching on the phone. I can see you commenting. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we are going to do tonight. We're going to talk some 80s. We're going to have some fun. But I want to show you something. You see this right here? This is left over from Easter. If I can get 5 people in the chat tonight, I'm going to open this thing up and eat this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it tonight. This whole peeps, we're going to eat this whole thing tonight. So we're going to do that. Okay, now I can see it. 2 people. There's like 2 people in the chat. I don't know. We get 5 people. There we go. We get 5 people in the chat. We're going to do this. Now, tonight, I want to talk some 80s. Now, I know y'all are old enough to remember the 80s. So, I want to talk about... There you go. I see you commenting there, TD. I'm watching you. Peeps. Hashtag peeps. So, by the way, I got the... Tonight, we sporting the SEC Champions hat. Got me a fresh haircut. You know, all these people having a rough time getting haircuts. That's another thing. What y'all doing for haircuts with all this coronavirus situation? Are y'all cutting y'all own hair? Are y'all just letting it grow? So what I do is, for the longest time, I'd spend about $25 for a haircut. And then one day I said, you know what? I always got a hat on, but I'm going to show you. I got me a haircut. So I went ahead and cut it real nice. And so I'm all set with that. But I want to talk about the 80s. What the 80s were like. For the people that were not around in the 80s. Y'all do your own haircuts. Nice. Nice. That's what I do as well. Hold on, I see we're spinning. We're gonna get it back though. You know, I keep having to use this app. Still trying to get to the 1,000. Hold on. I'm on you. All right, looks like we're back. Hold on. Let me see. All right, looks like we're back. All right, good, good. So look, let's talk a little bit about the 80s. We got 3 people in here now. So we get to 5. We're gonna eat the peeps. That's another thing to look forward to. But you know, back in the 80s, you know, with all these cell phones, before that all started, you know, some people have a rough time imagining that, you know, we didn't have all these cell phones. You know, back in the 80s, even the late 80s, the first car phones actually started. And they were big, you know. You had to have a big antenna on the outside of the car. And it was a big thing. If you had a car phone, you know, you were doing well. So that was the first sign of technology, you know, back in the 80s with that. Um, One thing I believe was better in the 80s was the music. You know, those of y'all on the coalition, I shared a song this week called Sarah. It was called Sarah by Starship. I think it was the band Starship. And hey, what's up, D? Okay, I'm watching the comments. Yeah, they were bad apples. Yep. Um, and I actually NTD. I actually have. I'm gonna do a video maybe one day. I have a my dad's old car phone. Um, I think I still have it somewhere. I'm gonna try to find it. I may make a video. You know, some of the youngsters these days they don't really understand even know what it's like to not have all these fancy cell phones and these technology at their hand. But we didn't have that. But you know, another thing I remember about the 80s that was so cool was, or at least my childhood is, we played outside a lot. Played football, basketball, baseball, rode the bikes. We're just outside, you know. The first Nintendo had come out, and I remember going to. Y'all tell me if y'all had remember this store, KB Toy Store. TD, y'all had a KB Toy Store growing up at y'all local mall? Because KB Toys was the store to go to, man. And I remember being a youngster, and I still actually have it. The first Sega, the first Nintendo that came out. First you had Atari growing up, and then you had Nintendo, and there was no Nintendo, so I got a Sega, the first Sega, and I remember having this game. It was a little cartridge called Hang On and Astro Warrior. Well, the game Hang On was little motorcycle game. And I still have this thing. I probably could hook it up and play it. And Astro Warrior was kind of like a centipede game where you'd shoot these little space things. I don't know if any of y'all familiar with that. Y'all did have KB toys, yeah. Another thing I enjoyed, I still have some, was the little starting lineup collectible figures. You collected those, TD, the little sports figures? I still have some of those. Um, I actually bought a Jim Everett Saints one at a. Trent was talking about the thrift store pickups. I bought a Jim Everett unopened one. I have it actually hanging on a wall. Um, and Jim Everett was with the Saints in like '95, and so the music was great. Um, Nintendo. I remember the first game that kind of came out was a Super Tecmo Bowl. That was like the coolest game. You know, you'd it would track your stats, so you try to break your own little records. What's up, Mike? Yeah, you know, it's this app I'm having to use. Once again, we get to 5 people. We have 2 in here. We get to 5, and we're gonna eat this whole thing right here. These peeps. This whole thing's gonna be eaten by Crisco. If not, well, we're gonna hold it until we can get 5 people in here. Yeah, Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl was the game. You know it, TD. Super Tecmo Bowl. And then they actually came out with about 3 Tecmo Bowls. Once it was all said and done on the Super Nintendo. They had the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and then it got all the way to the PlayStation. And then Tecmo came out with Tecmo Baseball, Tecmo Basketball. So those Tecmo Sports were really good. Had a lot of great times with that. You know, I'll tell you another thing. Us video gamers back in the day experienced was you'd have to go to the local video rental store, and you'd rent you a couple of games on a Friday night. You'd have to bring them back on a Sunday or the Monday, you know, run them for a couple of days. Looks like we got one person in here. We're gonna be patient. We're gonna get us we're gonna get us our 5 in here for the peeps. I'm hungry for some peeps. You know, do y'all know that I didn't even eat any peeps this year for Easter? Normally, what I used to do is I would get I would wait till the day after Easter, the Monday, you know, and I'd go to Walmart and get a bunch of peeps half off. You know, like a pack like this, that was like a couple of bucks, you get half off. And I'd have a big old Easter collection. I used to like the chicks and bunnies. And what I'd do is I'd save all my candy in the freezer, and I'd watch the NFL draft. And I'd have my that's another thing. NFL draft coming up this week. I've been snacking on some nachos. I always like to eat me some nachos with some cheese, Frito-Lay cheese, and some jalapenos. Every year for the draft, I'd always get my snacks ready. I'm a big NFL draft fan. And so I'd always do that. And the draft is this Thursday, so I need to get my get my plans ready. And you know what I'm actually thinking about would be really good is that big Pizza Hut, that big 2 foot pizza, I think it is. It comes with like 3, 4 dips. I might actually have to go get that tomorrow. That sounds real good. But it's pretty good. About 11, $12, and you get a giant pizza. Supposed to rain a lot this weekend, man. Good rain weather. That's some good movie watching weather. And no sports. And no sports on, so watch some old movies. Been watching a lot of TD talked about this in y'all live stream. I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU. And I know Jen said y'all had kind of stopped watching, but I believe it or not, I watched a new episode last night, and it was pretty good. But yeah, these shows play on Ion Television, which is a basic channel that you can get with an open air antenna. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing that's different nowadays in the 80s versus now. The price of a television, um, but when I say the price of a television, the amount of time a television will last. You know, I've been finding lately that if you get a flat screen television, about 40 inch, that normally lasts you about 6 years, and then for some reason the picture tends to go out, the bulbs tend to go out, and talked about repairing this, but more people that I talk to say, you know what, it's cheaper to just more headache just to buy a new one, and so bought a 39 inch for about 139. Then you can get them for cheaper than that. What I'm saying is I guess the quality of product uh, tends to be a little bit less in a certain way, but it's cheaper, so I guess it's kind of evens out, and you just kind of get a disposable TV. So I remember back in the day, people would get these huge televisions, these big old heavy televisions, and they were so big to try to move and weighed, so much. And now you can 40-inch TV weighs about 22 pounds. It's a different time, man. Different time. I still got my peeps. TD, y'all still up in here? Let me look on here and see if anybody's commenting on this thing. TVs have gotten way cheap. Hey, did y'all finish TD, did y'all finish watching The Stand yet, man? I think you had said y'all did. I don't remember, but yeah. When this whole virus thing came out, I probably watched it about twice, the whole thing over and over again. I enjoy it. It kind of gets a little crazy, the show. It kind of gets a little out there, but it's fun to watch. I guess I'll have to go ahead and make my last Joe Burrow video right before the draft this week. You know, I had done a little series where will Joe go? And so I'll need to kind of get my final prediction before Thursday night. Now, TD. Um, what is the biggest thing that you remember, I guess, from the 80s? And what are some of your favorite 80s songs, you know? Who could remember that song? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. You remember that song? That was a good one. No, Andy Dalton put out a video. I'm gonna have to check it out. You know, that's one thing, man. I love talking. I love talking whatever. You know, I always. I tell you what's gonna be fun is if we still doing this, all of us, in another 20 years. I always say that, but I'll probably do it then more than ever. You know, but I love talking whatever, and you know, Andy Dalton. It may be a Andy Dalton's due like a $17 million, I believe, this year. So I don't know if the Bengals, you know, that's a lot of money. If he could somehow take a lower, you know, I don't know. You know, do you draft Joe Burrow? Does he start week one? Do you turn over the reins? No, this kid has no. This kid has no fear. I'm gonna tell you that. This kid has no fear. He's coming in there. I'm gonna have to check that out, TD. I'm gonna have to check that out. That video. You know what, though? I just don't see what, you know. I'll tell you what's gonna surprise everybody with this draft is, you know, we all remember what happened with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was supposed to go number one to the Texans the year he was drafted, and night before we found out that no, they were going with the defensive lineman. Well, you know, sometimes I don't. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The more he goes, I think I'm almost 99.9% sure. I'm almost 100% sure the Bengals are taking Joe Burrow. I mean, if we were talking about somebody that was, what's the knock on him? What's the knock on Joe Burrow? You know, we have people that talk about his hand size. He threw 60 touchdown passes this year. I mean, you know, people are gonna dissect everybody. People dissect things, and this has always happened. I just I just can't see it. The only thing I see is a trade down with the Dolphins. But if we're just talking for fun, you know, what I'm seeing is these guys they're saying that Chase Young is actually the best player in the draft. So if the Bengals somehow, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but if the Bengals somehow pick Chase Young with the number one pick, the defensive end, what happens at pick number two with the Redskins? You know, that's where it's gonna get crazy. But if I had to really pick, I truly believe that come Thursday night, uh, Burrow's gonna be a Bengal. You know, okay. Did you hear the song play? Pay me my money down. No, I didn't. If Cincy drafts Joe, look for Dalton to win a Super Bowl with the Pats. You know, that's gonna be interesting, man. That's I don't know. I don't know. That's one of the key topics this year too to see is, you got Belichick and Brady. Did you know you know they both go hand in hand. I think they both go hand in hand. I watched a video with Belichick and Bill Parcells. Belichick, I believe, what made him so great, and some people may not like this, but he he's very professional at his job. Meaning, he is there for one thing, and that is to produce victories. You know, they let Tom Brady walk. Now, there's an argument, and I would be willing to say it, that Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play professional football, and I still think he can play, and all Tampa Bay does as well. The Tampa Bay Bucks gave him a 2-year deal, and I believe it's 30 million a year, if I'm right. So they believe he can play as well. All he did for the Patriots, all those championships, 6 championships, and they let him walk. And I really don't know what the Patriots' plan is right now. Let me ask you something, TD. Y'all want to see me eat some peeps? We're at a point in the show where I'm hungry, and even though we ain't got 5 people in here, I'm thinking about just going ahead and turning into those peeps. Watching the weather. Here we go, more rain this weekend. Well, won't be able to cut the grass. Hey, happy Friday, VA Moon. How you doing? We got TD in here. We got VA Moon. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and eat me some peeps. Y'all wanna see me eat these peeps? Let's see. I said I was gonna get 5 in here. Well, I got 5, but you know what? I'm hungry. It's Friday night. I always tell people, Fridays never get old. No matter what you got going on, every day has a different feeling. Mondays, well, you know how Mondays are. Saturdays, Sundays. But Fridays, those Fridays never get old. Alright, here we go. I got it. Look. We're going to try to eat all these. This is going to be the Crisco Peeps challenge. So I'm going to try to eat all 8 of these. That's one. It's alright that you late, VA. It's all good. We ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna You know, eat all these peeps. We're talking about the 80s. VA Moon, do you have a favorite 80s song? One of my favorite songs is what I had shared. This is number 2, by the way. Peep 2. It's called Sarah by Starship. I don't know why. When I listen to that song, I kind of reminisce on my youth. Kind of reminds me of the 80s. Yeah, ASMR. Oh yeah, Friday night. But oh yeah. So I always like listening to that song for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the video. You know, I reminisce a lot on that video. Think about a lot of things, you know. Hungry. Okay, okay. You know what? I'm gonna turn this into a if y'all would like, I'm gonna turn this into a singing. This is almost gonna be like a request type video. So I remember that song. I think it was Duran Duran. And I'm hungry like the wolf. Hey, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all remember going to skating rinks um, back in the 80s? VA Moon, did you do a lot of roller skating like on Friday nights? And UTD? Because I remember in the 80s, skating rinks were very popular. Um, so I'm interested to hear what y'all into that. You all were TD? Okay, look, TD. Number 3. Number 3. 3 peep. 3 peep. Um, mm. All right. So VA, you did some roller skating. Bought up. That was some good times, huh? Going to the skating rink. You lived in San Diego in the 80s. Only place I've ever lived is Louisiana. I know TD done lived a couple of places as well. But you know what's interesting? I'm gonna tell y'all, let y'all in on a little insight. I'll tell you what's interesting about, is I've lived pretty much locally here for all my life. But it's interesting to remember places that were once single lane, single lane roads that are now double lane roads. And another thing that's pretty interesting to see is there's a lot of roundabouts. Do you guys have a lot of roundabouts being put in where y'all live? What's up? We got 3 people in here. Go ahead. Trying to grow this thing, man. Let's see if we can get to 5 people. But having a lot of roundabouts put in. Um, helps the traffic flow. It's actually there's actually a roundabout that was put in not too far from here, and it's actually a good thing because there was always this caution light, and there was always a lot of wrecks there, you know. So now with this roundabout, people can just come up to the roundabout, yield, and it really helps the traffic flow. Another thing about living somewhere a long time. No, it wasn't a good night for a fire, VA. It was windy outside. Windy and decided to do it inside tonight. All right, this is number 4. You ready for number 4? Let's see if y'all see him on there. Number 4, Pete. Going on the hatch. I only got 4 left. So I eat the whole pack. But I'll tell you what's another interesting thing. I remember where the Super Walmart is now. All growing up. Nothing but a big old empty field. Now, you forgot what it looked like to be a big old empty field, you know? One of those things, you know, it's it becomes a good piece of property, a valuable piece of property located next to interstate. Somebody probably holds on to it for years and years. And then Walmart comes in, offers a big ton of money, you know. Super Walmart. Y'all don't got no Super Walmarts over there in Michigan over there? Super Walmart, man. When you go to Super Walmart, you get everything done. You can get your oil change. You can buy tires. You can get a haircut. They got a bakery. Anything that you want. Pretty much, it's like every little town has their own mall. The interstate. There you go. The interstate. Interstate 10, brother. The Interstate 10. You jump on that interstate, it take you anywhere. But a Super Walmart, you know what? And maybe that's why so many malls are going out of business these days, man. You think about it. Every little town has a Super Walmart. And at a Super Walmart, you can get a haircut. You can get your oil change. You can buy fishing supplies. You know, well, I'm going to tell y'all, okay? We used to have a normal Walmart. Now, a normal Walmart had just supplies. Just supplies, you know. You couldn't get your hair cut. You couldn't get your oil change. That was a basic Walmart. Hey, TD, let me ask y'all, and VA, y'all got another store that had moved in local. Y'all ever heard of Tractor Supply? Y'all got Tractor Supplies way up there? Hold on. You know what? We coming to peep 5. We coming to peep 5. All right, you ready? This is peep number 5. This peep right here, say he ready to go. All right, here we go. We got 3 left in the pack. Okay. Yeah, y'all got some Tractor Supplies up there? I like Tractor Supply, man. Tractor Supply is a pretty good little store. You can buy clothes and whatever. You can buy food for the farm and stuff like that. Y'all don't have those there. I guess old Trent TTM Fan Pack must have been busy working in that freezer today. What's say, Goose? How you doing there? My buddy Goose Sports. VA Moonshine TD. Man, I'm ready. Goose, I'm ready for the draft Thursday, man. I'm ready for the draft. I'm getting all my snacks ready. I got my nachos. I actually started eating them this week. I'm gonna have to go get me some more before Thursday. Got my got my nachos, my jalapenos, cheese. Started. That's another thing. I'm gonna do a question of the week this week. I want to see how many people are gonna. Oh, no problem, Goose man. Always enjoy hanging out in your streams too, buddy. Talking sports, talking some old Saints. You know, talking some old Saints and LSU and all that. And pretty cool hanging out with Butcher's Block as well. Talking about the Patriots post Tom Brady era and stuff like that. Always fun, man. Always enjoy interacting with everyone and talking about different interests and all that fun stuff. I'm hoping saw that Trump was really trying to get everything opened. You know what? Let's look at this. So if Cincy takes Joe, I think Cincy will take Joe. I don't think really that there's a question right now, but hey, I could be wrong. But let's just suppose it happens. Well, there's a lot of places that Andy Dalton could end up. I think these guys I think you got some big free agent quarterbacks. Andy Dalton, you got Cam Newton, you got Jameis Winston, and I think after the draft is when they'll start to be signed. I still think Cam Newton is a really good fit with Jacksonville. I think Fournette. I think him and Fournette are gonna end up. I'm gonna give a prediction. I think Cam Newton's gonna end up going to the Jaguars. I would say maybe a 2-year deal. Um, you know, something like that. Um, and I don't know. I don't know where Andy Dalton. I think he's gonna have to. I don't know. Hard to say. It's really hard to say where he ends up. A big thing we got to look out for is the New Orleans Saints this year. Drew Brees looked like he accepted a position with NBC Sports when he retires, and looks like it was kind of a little difficult for him to decide if he was coming back this year. So even though he signed a 2-year deal, I have a very strong feeling that this will be Drew Brees' final year with the Saints. So Saints need to decide what they're going to do. Is Taysom Hill the quarterback of the future? Is it time to move on and draft somebody in the first round? And I think that that's what's going to happen with the Saints. I think they're going to draft the quarterback of the future in the first round. All right. I'm gonna eat. Let's see. Peep number 6. Right here. Yeah. I'm gonna eat. Going down. 2 more. Peep number 6. Right here. We got 2 more peeps to go. Man, where's the OG been, man? Y'all, anybody heard from the OG this week? 2 people up in here. I may make a long stream, man. See if we can get some people from all over. I got a question for y'all. Do y'all rather... Well, first I'm going to ask y'all the question to see y'all response. And then I'm going to answer the same question with my response. Because I have to actually think about it. Do y'all rather make normal videos, or do y'all rather do live streams? Which one is funner for y'all to do, or which one is more enjoyable? I guess my answer to that would be, it's different. There's different ways to look at it. I think the regular videos that I make, they take a lot longer to upload. So when I do a live stream, it uploads really quick. You know, the live stream will upload quick, but it's because of the app that I'm having to use and all, it's very choppy. So I guess if I had to be decisive and make a pick, I like doing the live streams because I like being able to see the comments and the whole interaction thing. So that's my answer. And TD looks like they rather do normal videos. Man, I haven't sent any fan pack request in so long, you know, with everything going on with this COVID-19. I just been, you know, I hadn't been sending any. So I may send out to some of the companies soon. All right, we're going for peep number 7. Number 7. 7 peep. Here we go. I love me some peeps. TD, do y'all do anything? Y'all don't do anything special for the draft, huh? But you're not as cuckoo as me about that either, probably. Man, I've always loved the draft. I can remember being a little boy, man. Man, I'd look forward to Easter, and then I'd be getting ready for the NFL draft, my little draft magazine. You know, it's always so fun to see the Trumper moron really messing everything up. But it's always been fun, the NFL draft, to see and to look back on it, you know. You know. Oh, okay, TD. Take it easy. See y'all tomorrow, hopefully. See y'all tomorrow night. In that case, I'm going to eat the last peep. This is number 8. The number 8 peep. The final peep. That's it. That's all of them. Now, you know what I'm going to do? First of all, I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for joining in. I think I want to try something a little different tonight. I'm going to charge this thing up, and I'm going to come back on here in maybe an hour. And I'm going to do a Crisco After Dark live stream to see if we can get some people in here and all and talk about whatever. I like doing these streams. It's fun. It's fun to chat and chat about anything. So I'll see y'all hopefully in about an hour. Let me go get something else to eat, and I'll be back.